Hello guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel of the Concept Guy, and today is the vlog plus the interview experience of IOCL. So right now I'm going to the IOCL interview, that is Indian Oil Corporation Limited interview via metro in Delhi, and I will just share all the questions that they ask and how everything happens as time goes. So this is a vlog come experience video, so I hope you will enjoy it, and let's see what happens uh, to the rest of the day. So right now the time is 6:57 a.m, so around 7 a.m in the morning, and I have to reach there by 8. In my center is at Delhi, Gurugram, and it is sector 18 Ifko Chowk, near Ifko Chowk. So I will board the metro here till Horse Cast and then change for the yellow line and reach Ifko Chowk or MG Road. So let's see what happens, guys, and let's hope for the best. Stay tuned and watch the video till the end, and I hope you will really get useful insights. So guys, the interview is over and now I am exiting. It is Delhi 1 center and Delhi 1 and Delhi 2. So I will share the experience and all. The interview GT all over, and nice place it is. A lot of things are here actually. The questions and the whole experience I will share as soon as I reach home. So stay tuned. So there are some ducks and swans, all these kept here. Some rabbits too. So guys, here I am back in my home from the interview center. My interviews, let me just again tell you about the whole experience, the questions, and how all the things went one by one, step by step. You must have watched the small recordings that I could make there. So first of all, my center was at IIPM, that is Indian Oil Institute of Petroleum Management, that was in Gurugram. So mainly those knowing about the place can actually locate it, and it is near Ifko Chowk metro station. Now coming to the main point is that what happened and in what sequence. So in my center, after I just got there, you can actually see in the vlog as well
that we had been in a queue and waiting for everyone to gather near the gate, and after that just we were directed to go inside the building. And when all of us were just gathered, we were given some I-card that you might have seen. So we were all numbered, and everyone was giving the information that you have to go here and follow these directions. So it was pretty much easy to get inside the whole center. Next, we all were seated around. So I started my journey at 7 that I told you and reached there by 8. So I started from Dashratpuri metro station and reached there at 8, the center. Then after reaching there, I like took some auto and reached the center. So now let me talk about the main thing, that is the when we were all gathered inside the hall. So what happened is that they just briefed us about the company. So they gave a very good presentations, slide slow show presentation. And so we were all uh, taking notes from it too, like some were taking, some were not. So they told a lot about the company in the presentation itself. And in fact the presenter was actually focusing on some major points, uh, which let me just tell you. So in that presentation, let me just tell you some major points that I have written. uh, Wait a second. So okay, so first they started with IOCL Extra Guard disinfectant spray that is marketed in the COVID pandemic, and it is created for like disinfectant. You can get that. So now IOCL names different years as per some kind of like what should I say? Like somewhere year of trust, year of profit. It's not profit. Year of trust, year of this that, and this year they have made the tag that year of opportunity. So and the mascot is Indian rhino. I know these things might bore you a little, but anyways, if you just get to know this, then might help you. And the center is at Mumbai. In Noida there is a pipeline sector. In Faridabad there is R&D. And in anyways, leave that. Next, the thing is that it in Forever 500 it is ranked 212. uh, First refinery was Dig Boy in 1909. And the latest refinery, that point is to be noted, that the latest refinery is Paradeep of IOCL in 2016. Okay, so these kind of details were given. Let me just give some more. uh, the revenue, the profit after tax of IOCL is 22,000 crore in 2021. And next is that 62.4 MMT crude oil is actually got into the whole processing unit per year. Now there are various policies of IOCL that you can check up in the internet, in the sites like various Vidushi, girl empowerment, girl education, Arogram, prison to pride. And the main important thing here is that IOCL has given various brand names to their products and the initiatives. So one like for lube oil they have given Servo. For BS6 compatible new blends they have given Green Mile. And bitumen production and marketing is given as a brand name of Durapane. So these all points I had noted down during the presentation. These were all in the presentation itself. Propel is petrochemical sector. They have given some brand names, and the presenter wanted us to remember these names. which they didn't ask in the interview, but they might ask you if someone is going for the interview or someone wants to know about the company, what it does. So rest, these were just like their details. Okay, so okay, now let's move on to the next thing, that after what happened. So after this, as you can see, we had our breakfast there. They served us the breakfast at around 9:30, okay, around that time. And after that time, after having it went about half an hour, 45 minutes. How much time do you need to eat? Okay, so after that, we were called like 4 groups or 5 groups people coming, and document verification started at 10, and my document verification went up to around 11 or 11:15, around that time. My mine was fast, but some people had didn't had some provisional degree certificate or some extra document that they wanted, so that took time. So I will just suggest you that if you're going into any interview, just make sure you have all the documents, else the process becomes lengthier and even other students have to wait. So that's kind of like creates a delay. Anyways, after that, we had to wait for our interview call. Like call means into the room, so we were waiting outside the room, in main interview room. And I also noticed that there was another room, so there was Delhi center room and there was Mumbai center room. In Mumbai center room, it was done through video conferencing using Zoom. So that is what I just talk. If you just haven't watched the previous video of Sumit Kumar's experience, he actually gave his interview at Kolkata center, and at Kolkata center they were doing the Zoom call, the video virtual meeting. So but in Delhi center it was face to face when I entered. And let me just tell you about my personal interview. So in the personal interview, after it started around at 11:30, 11:30 rest, yes, and went on around what time did it end? Around 20-25 minutes. After that, I really didn't note, because I was thinking about the interview, after the interview, that what actually happened. I was just digesting it. Anyways, let me tell you the experience now and what the questions that they asked. So when I went inside after my turn came, so there were 5 panelists, and one of them was female, and rest 4 were men. And the first question that they ask is that introduce yourself. And after my introduction, they just asked me the first major question, that have you ever given interview before, job interview before. So I told her, because I have given a Gale interview recently. If you have not checked out that video, you can just check out, and because there also I've shared a lot of points, and I will also discuss in this video that how the Gale interview and the IOCL interview were quite different in a lot of sense. So after they told me to just tell me about the interview experience, they are like, which one will you choose if you are selected in both Gale and IOCL? Which one will you choose? And anyways, I answered IOCL and gave a lot of reasons. So then they told us that they told me as that IOCL has a little lesser package. Package means salary than Gale. So why only IOCL? So I want you to think about this. I gave them a good right answer, and they seemed quite satisfied. But I want to think about it. Okay. In the comments you may write. So why will you choose Gale? Why you will choose IOCL when you are selected in both Gale and IOCL? And the next thing is that if you had any campus placement, so why you didn't join, or if you didn't get, so what was the reason that you were not able to get? So these were the things, and they then told me, what do you favor most, like private sector or the government sector? And this was really critical, because if you just answer government sector, because IOCL is government uh, organization, PSU, public sector unit. So if you just answer that government, then they will just ask you this question, that privatization is happening in India, so how do you feel about this? So get ready for that question. Next, they asked me about the what if you are not selected in both GAIL and IOCL, what will you do? What are you currently doing? Like, I'm doing MTech, so why you are doing that? Give them the whole thing, that why you are doing that, explain them. Then they just move on to my internship. So whatever, now they were moving on to my biodata, that what internships you have done. And now one major thing, they asked me that where is the oil and gas produced in India. Like, okay, IOCL is a downstream, so it is getting, so now they are not just asking that, okay, this company is in the upstream or this is in the downstream. They are asking, where are the oil reserves, where are the, especially oil reserves we all know, like big boy, but they asked me that where are the gas reserves. So think about it also. uh, because I was mentioning GAIL, and I did my internship in GAIL, so I had to explain that, and in that this question arise. Next, the thing is that, okay, so I was in the GPU in charge, the gas processing unit in charge, uh, doing the internship there. So explain the whole thing, explain the temperature ranges. Then they told me to draw a diagram on the board, the process flow diagram with the temperature and pressure and other conditions. So I did that internship long ago. Anyways, I just gave them some ranges. So they were pretty much like, okay, because they wanted some exact temperature, maybe just wanted to check that how much do you remember. But yes, I gave them the ranges. And anyways, I don't want to say about that, because their expression was like quite uh, over the top. Anyways, then they asked me about the LPG weight. So LPG cylinder weight domestic, that is 14.2 kgs in India. And they asked me about the commercial weight. So mention in the comments if you know the commercial weight of the LPG cylinder, cylinder, no, the storage, commercial storage. Then they asked me about my IIT Bombay internship, which I had done in my third year of BTech. So if you haven't checked that video, yes, I'm promoting those videos because those are helpful. Okay, not because just promoting the channel, but those in those videos you can get a lot of information. So I explained them my IIT Bombay internship project, and they were quite like happy about that. But one thing is that they couldn't ask anything about that, because it was process simulation uh, project, like online project. So they wanted to ask about the field project that I have done and internships that I've done. Next, they asked me about some heat exchangers, that okay, in heat exchanger what all factors you need to consider, and what will you prefer, convection or radiation. So think about this also. Anyways, convection is mostly used in industries, so why it is used, why not radiation? Is radiation there in the industries? Then how companies just manage that? Okay, next, there are questions like, where like okay, where do you see yourself in the next 10, after the next 10 years? So that is pretty much a good question, and I will just share the answer, because I think it could help you. So I told them that I look myself in a various in a good senior position, and contributing more towards the country. So and add just stuff like these, that you will be more responsible, contributing more, your skill set will expand, a lot of things you would be able aware about, and just these things. Okay, if you have something else, you can surely mention in the comments. That will be helpful for me as well as for other audience as well. So now then they moved on to the last part. Any questions that you have? Now if you just say no, I don't have any questions, so they will say okay, tata, bye bye. But if you just ask something, I personally feel that if you just ask something, then that will actually give an extra impact on them, that okay, this guy is something about curious about the company. So I just asked about the sustainable development and the hydrogen production, the fuel cell technology. I asked about these things that IOCL is now moving into. So maybe you can ask something else, it's up to you. And just I would suggest that don't say that okay, no questions at all. Maybe it will help you in some cases if the panel is thinks that okay, he has no questions, he got to know, he knows everything. Okay. But anyways, it's up to you. So now it just took me around 20-25 minutes, and it was around 12. And after just waiting, it was like after some time, I was just waiting in the hall, same hall, waiting for my GD is group discussion and GT is group task. And then there was lunch from 1 to 2. After lunch, lunch was also provided by IOCL. So great stuff, you will get a lot of things to eat. Okay, you will get a lot of food to eat there. Anyways, that was quite greatly managed. And I would say that after that my GD and GD started. So at 2 it started and it ended around okay, at 2 we entered the room and it started around 2:15. So 2:20, around 2:20 it started. It ended about half an hour later. And let me share the topics. So the GD, the group discussion topic was future of work from home. Now this is important because now we are all working from home, like most of the students as well as the industry people, and a lot of people are now working from home. So what do you feel now? In our group there were around 8 students and one was girl. They told us that one would be a girl. In one group there should be at least one girl, and in only just rare cases there would be no girl. I don't know what's the logic behind that, but they wanted one girl at least in a particular group. And the panelists were now not engineers, not doctors, I don't know. They were like psychologists and people who just can see you through their see you through their eyes and just notice your body language, your everything, your attitude, your anything. Okay, so there were 2 panelists who were psychologists. They mentioned clearly that they were psychologists. Okay, so and they told us you can speak in any language that you are comfortable, not your regional language, like either Hindi or in English. So and language contains no marks there. Okay, so now they wanted to form a group, and in that group they told us to they gave us 2 minutes to write down the points that we wanted to be involved in the group discussion. And then the discussion began, and slowly and gradually the discussion turned into a debate. And it was like someone was sticking to one point and the other was just against that point. And I think it could have been a lot more better. And even if I was trying to like separate the two, okay, give them the chance, they were like no, let me just tell my point first. So anyways, the discussion, the good thing is that I concluded the discussion, and I took both all the opinions. I hope I took the advantages and disadvantages of work from home, and maybe that was a kind of plus point, I don't know. But always try to conclude, making a conclusion from both ends, okay. That I will just suggest. And next, in that same room, okay, where the GD happened, so a group task was given just 5 minutes later, and it was of around 15 minutes, um, yes, around 15 minutes. The group discussion was all 15 minutes, and the group task was also around 15 minutes. And let me tell you the topic. The topic was, now there are colleges, institutions in India, so, and there are so many institutions. So, rather than quantity, how to improve the quality of these institutions. So we were given some like 10 minutes or something, but we were just discussing. So that was kind of engaging, because now people were not fighting. Fighting means arguing, and even they were just telling their own points, and all the points were noted down on a sheet by a person. And then uh, I just wanted to note down all the points, but someone took it beforehand, like started writing. So I just thought, it's always better that you take the part to write down all the points. Like, only one person among the whole group has to write. So it's always better if you just write all the points. I personally feel that it gives an added point, but however, someone started writing already, so I thought I won't just intercept him. So the in the topic that we got, how colleges can be improved in India, so we gave a lot of solutions, like counseling sessions, tech fest, more tech fest, and and counsel, like, and in student to teacher ratio, that should be maintained good. Research should be promoted, and the talent that is going outside, or maybe I won't discuss that. Anyways, so after this, one thing that I want to share, that after all this, when we told the panel our points, he just laughed at them and said that, okay, these are your solutions, but uh, let give some more real solutions, okay. These are could be done, maybe the budget could be increased, maybe this could be done, curriculum could be changed, but they just wanted some more real life solution, like what could be done right now, what needs to be done. And that is only the thing, and it all ended about around 3 p.m. And then the main part came, that main part in the sense that after this, okay, what's left, but the main is that you have to give your feedback. So, and that also anonymously, so no one is going to see that who gave the feedback, it's just that you have to give. And in a computer over, in the same room where the documents were verified, in the computer we had a form, and we filled up the form, and lastly we signed uh, on the back side of our batches that our GT is complete, and we gave it to the guard, and tata bye bye, see you. Anyways, I just explored the center a bit, and I have shared that videos in the previous, like you can move, and you have might already seen that. So it was kind of good center. uh, a lot of things that now I will say that different between the Gale and the IOCL interview, because I told you that they were quite different. So in IOCL it was more of like, what are your priorities and what have you done. In Gale it was like, do you know the subject. So this is the basic difference, and I hope you get my point. Some were also asked HR questions more, so in Delhi center it was less also, though, and they were chemical and mechanical students. So I hope you get the complete experience, and I hope you enjoyed the video, got a lot of useful information. All the best if you have your interview in the coming days, and just subscribe the channel. Come on, it's just one click. Come on, one click on that red subscribe button. Okay, thank you for supporting, guys. Stay tuned for more videos.